Okay, the recording started.
Okay, recording started. Thank you, sir. All right, so let's start. Today's date, Tuesday, 3rd of March, 2020. A new month again. So, and this is Tuesday. So we're going to talk about OKRs, and we have William over here also going to present his OKR today. Um, okay, I'll go with opening it first, and then we go with
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, Pizza. So I've set one OKR for right now. I wanted to set a second OKR yesterday in front of the company, but anyhow, the first one that we have is basically a extension of my previous OKR. So it's about raising the leadership. That's very much in line with the theme of sharpening the saw. If we have better leadership, then we have sharper saws. So instead of taking a general approach towards everyone's score, I looked at everyone's score and then I made about like what I would imagine reasonable adjustments to get improvements on the scores of the seniors here. So no score is every score is about zero point 0.1 to zero point 0.2 above where it is. But what I really need to work on is to figure out what is it about these surveys that people are expecting. So we don't really know how people are interpreting mentorship and leadership at this moment. So I've asked actually Vita to help me on this one, where we can drill down and actually ask people, well, what do they actually expect mentorship to look like, and what do they actually expect leadership to look like? So we can get those expectations set correctly. All right, so that's my first OKR. Oh, also, I plan to go to the U.S. sometime this month, maybe just for a week or so. I've got some business that I'd like to finish up over there. So I didn't plan a second or a third OKRs because I don't want to overthink myself. But I don't know if I'll get to travel actually right now. So I'll see. Yeah, I don't know. Like it bad or something. But yeah, that's kind of like the my sole OKR for the moment.
Okay, is there any discussion, question, or any feedbacks for this PR?
I wanna ask something
Yes,
about
please. Thank you.
ESS. How we determine the ESS to make a proper scoring to represent the actual condition of our employee satisfaction. Is it really it's comprehensive?
That's a good question. Okay, so let's see. I'll try to answer that by showing Billy what we currently have on the ESS. So let's take a look at that. Let's see, Billy, you see this? Okay, so what we currently have on the ESS are a few questions that ask about what we think are things that we can change here. So, okay, the first overall overarching question is, have things improved? Um, so we can see from January to February there's improvement. From February to March, I guess all the results haven't come in yet. It seems like so far there's a bit of a dip. So that allows us to know overall how do people feel. Belief that improvement is possible, that's also a pretty important metric. We see that generally that's a rising metric. In March it went down a little bit, but we don't have all the results yet. We only have 6 people so far. Okay, the other metric that we measure is leadership quality. So every leader in the company gets a score, sort of like a project driver, for leadership and also for mentorship. So right now I am just focusing on leadership quality, not necessarily all the other qualities. We have other variables such as what's working better, what needs to be fixed, who can fix what. So these are other things that we look at. Specifically, I'm just looking to improve the quality of leadership. And I think in this particular exercise, let's say for February, I could say objectively we have been spending more time and more efforts in mentorship. So it was a little bit surprising to see the scores go down. And also I saw that attendance on some crucial areas were also not very high. Like where Tenny, I thought that one was one thing that should actually all hosts should go to, but there wasn't like a terribly high number of tenants. So we need to also ask the question of what is it that people expect of leadership, and we need to define what leadership is and what leadership isn't, so that we can have a little bit more alignment.
So it's pretty much subjective actually.
Oh yes, yes. Feelings are always very subjective, and this is always a feeling. Yeah.
Okay. Any other discussion, question?
Yeah. Software.
All right. So, okay, let's move on to my OKR. Actually, for March, I have three OKRs. One is actually continuation, like the second milestone from last OKR in February about learning leadership. So, as it is now on pipeline still that we're finding one new person in HR, so that can also help to cover the talent acquisition part. So that's why it's also bring it up again this month. It's like the second milestone. Hopefully, Billy can join us actually. And on the second one is actually to help your OKR, but I haven't actually created the key results as I was thinking like since I'm doing like the activities right, so like for to see like the expectations towards mentorship and for senior leaders from our members. On the action is actually I'm planning to have like at least uh, 4 employees per day pay rate regarding this. But the key result itself, like I'm quite not sure like how it should look like.
It can just be data, I think, in this particular case detail.
Okay.
So it might be actually a little bit easier. Also, to it might be easier actually to get all four together instead of pairing one by one, because this isn't so much a private discussion. This is more
Yeah.
kind of like what do we expect leadership to look like? What expect leadership to look like? When people say, I expect my, I don't know, let's say they expect something that's not possible. I expect leaders to always have the right solution. That's not really possible. So that has to like come to a different boundary. Like, oh, okay, all right, we need to address that as something that we cannot do. Um, let's say that, oh, I want more training for uh, customer service. Okay, that's something we can do. So ideally, we should be able to see what people's expectations of leadership and mentorship are about, and then after we get that information, sort it the things that we can change, the things that the expectation of us can change, and I think we can work towards improving this more.
Okay. So then my curious will be the data itself.
So yeah, just how many data points you want to accumulate? That looks like 28 people's data. So.
Alright, so that's the second OKR, and then the third one is actually on digital marketing that can help HR as well regarding our exposure outside. But I think this is like incorrect. How would I say? Key results. This will be like the action
Activity,
points actually. Yeah, the activity. But the thing is, I haven't actually really looked on our LinkedIn data right now, so that's why I haven't put in the key result. Like I was thinking actually to improve like either the visitors or maybe the followers as well
Okay.
regarding this, but I will need time to take a look at the LinkedIn data first for this. Yes, sir.
Video is notoriously difficult to get broadcast on LinkedIn for some reason.
Okay.
To get engaged. We put a few videos up on LinkedIn, and those have always been the least engaging. Your HR video, right?
Yeah.
And LinkedIn is really not suited for video distribution. I'm not sure why. Maybe it has to be uploaded natively on LinkedIn, but we've seen the highest engagement and the highest stuff that brings followers is generally infographics, articles, or carousel photos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I was thinking like for the video, if you're saying that maybe it's not really engaging on LinkedIn, it could be like I will upload the video on YouTube,
Yep.
and then afterwards I will upload the video on YouTube, and then I'm gonna so because the video is about like like how do you feel about working in Bukit Vista? Like what did you let's say grow yourself that you feel that you are growing and all of that. So I'm gonna create like an article based on that, like a script on the video,
Okay.
and then post it on LinkedIn. And also, if you are interested to look for the video, you can go to our YouTube link.
Okay, sounds good.
Right, cool. So, is there any other discussion for these OKRs?
So this is about the testimonials
Yeah,
from
for the third one.
for the third one. So
Yes,
we sell our branding to
exactly.
candidates actually, but I think it's better if we have some. It's naturally come from the employee itself, not to be scripted.
Yeah, no, no.
Uh,
Just, I think I will just create like the questions, and then it will be like the answer the question. Yes, Ara, I saw you raised your hand before.
For the articles itself, do you have like specific theme of each articles that you will write or you will post?
Haven't actually, but I was thinking about like the article could be something that is related to work. Like for example, I was actually thinking like one article is about like how we as a company actually like disrupting the idea of traditional hospitality, for example, things like that about our company. That is actually can be inspiring for others, or maybe how do we build our IT things from from scratch, things like that.
Okay. So my suggestion, I think I remember I've ever made this kind of OKR before when Bubu is here. I think it would be complete if you put the theme later on, maybe like within this week, you decide like first article is about what, just about, not, doesn't have to be like the sales, but like the theme itself.
Noted.
So,
I
okay.
will. Okay. Then anything else?
I think we
Yes.
should highlight what's the difference from our company to similar company too, because I'm as a trial and as a job hunter actually like I just want what is the hot button that from the candidates to makes them to want more knows more about our company itself. So
Okay.
maybe we can highlight what we really work here, what they supposed to
Okay. Maybe I
do.
can work about it with you later.
Yeah.
Okay. Since I mean, what I got from your suggestion is actually like giving a comparison, right? Like with working in other company, while I have no idea actually working in other company. Like it's like what, especially like established company, right? Okay, so that's all from my OKR. Thanks, Ara and Billy, for your suggestions. Going to Ara. One second.
Okay. Yes, so my first OKR is basically about, so this is one of my project that I've discussed about the team from last month, which is I'm going to make a probation milestone starting from, this is going to be the MPP for OGS and host. So why is that I started with OGS and host? Because we have a lot of upcoming candidates in this particular area, and urgency also that it's for OGS and host itself. So yeah, the objective is create a better what is it, probation program for OGS and host. And the key result is that I created two paper by the end of the month for the role that already stated. And then the activity that I'm going to do is that I've already discussed with the people that I'm going to pair, which is OGS will be with Cynthia. It will start and activate by today. And then for host itself, I'm going to pair with Dominic. And I've also already talked to Dominic, and she accepted this also. That's my first OKR. Maybe is there any other question I'd like to break down one by one about this OKR? Maybe input or feedback. Yes, sir.
My feedback is it can't be just done, but it has to be done and also approved, right? We have to measure, let's say, what is better for online guest support. Is better higher probability of a promotion? Bless you. Is it more people are we need to start with something and then see where we're going. So it's really I think up to you to decide what is the metric you're going to call better, and then work on fixing. I'll ask Gara. What do you think is the most important thing that needs to be fixed with, let's say, the probation program?
Exactly the one that we've discussed, that we need to review the candidates within months so that we didn't miss the thing. Like each month, all the people and company that is involved in reviewing a candidate can actually say whether to pass this candidate to second or third month or not. And apa rather than waiting for the promotion review itself. So it's like a mini promotion review each month to make a decision whether to go and pass this candidate or not. So it will be like divided to three tranches so far, that maybe Vita, can you, oh wait, it should be me, but whoever shared the screen can open that paper, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So I just already divided to 3 months, and then within the end of the first month, we see if the candidate is actually ticking all the box or not. So if it's not, then it's also like there are two things. One, we're going to advise and see the improvement in the second month, or we're going to terminate the candidates directly, because all this time we've wasted our time, both candidates and our time, by waiting until the promotion review, right? And then the result is actually whether the person is passing through promotion review or not. So instead of waiting that long period of time, I'd like to like actually divide and like making a clear benchmark whether a person is actually qualified to continue the probation time or probation program or not. Yes, Sita.
Ara, I think you can also take a look at remember, like, it was my first few days here, I think, like, when we actually go to chapters to fill in what's their vision on each current matrix, that could be put in here as well, since we have the current matrix here. Do you remember that?
Mm,
Know what I'm saying, what I'm talking about?
wait, I'm not sure if I remember. Tapi guys, suara kalian menggema gitu loh.
So we're
So,
for each chapter.
mic-nya di situ nggak?
There it is.
This one, Ara.
Point.
Okay. Okay.
Is it better now?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. I mean, if we're, let's say, taking a look at online guest support, right? We already asked you to fill in
Mm-hmm.
what
Yes.
does PCI look like. This can also be put there. It's your
Yeah.
reference.
Yeah. It is going to be reference between me, Cynthia, and me, Dominic, but more on specific. Like this one is like PCI, LILC, and it's more on defining the current metrics, right? So in my benchmark is going to be like deeper in the terms that okay, so the first month candidate should PCC, for example, or uh, PGI and things like that, and then like what exactly needs to do, because like for example, we see like probation time should be minimum taking reservation and whatever, but based on Cynthia said that it's quite impossible if somebody needs to be excel on what is it, handling overbooking. So handling overbooking should be able in second month, for example, things like that. So yeah, it's more on details about what needs to be done or what needs to be understood by the candidates within months. So, yes, sir.
Oh yeah, I have a suggestion. One of the easiest ways. Here, how about this? Right, like we also need to ask what does handling mean. So I see handling complaint, handling review, cross selling. It really ties back into SLAs, right? So it should be that a new candidate is within SLA compliance or continues the SLA compliance after they step into the role. For example, we've seen, let's say on the this one we saw actually last time we were checking revenue management. I'll show you. I'll show you actually really quickly what I mean here. I'll show you screen quickly. So let's say, for example, this. Currently, the people who are handling the Jingle YN and the YN account, I believe, are Luki and Rian and Alvin. Right. So what we saw actually was this kind of handling might not be good enough in terms of does it actually pass what we call employee standards. So sometime between January and February, the my account was getting handled by new people. So the new person, we saw it's actually the dip. The performance in January and February was 35%, and then the dip performance the Atlanta profile was 37%. Now let's just take another random profile that wasn't handled by the video. So that was only a 5% drop, and this was almost no drop at all. Okay, so clearly this handling needs to have also a qualitative score associated with it, and I think we might have forgot that actually doing the career metrics. We didn't really take into account what we mean by quality and work. So now I think we have that, and we have a clear vision for what a clear head should be. If you're online get support and you're covering these profiles, that means SLA standards, right? They should be responded within an hour, phone calls within a certain number of minutes, inquiry rates after they converted to a certain percentage, requests at a certain percentage, kind of like that, right? So that I think can actually be quite determinant in setting a milestone, as long as you are handling that profile up to the compliance of, let's say, everyone else. Then you're handling it well. Say, but if you're just in the seat, but you're not necessarily driving the vehicle in the right direction, then we need to be clear about that. So for each one of these, I think we also need qualitative scores. How
Yes, what, sir?
for each one of these checkboxes, because they have qualitative scores, I can handle a complaint by just going, hey, screw you, bye. Right? That's the way I handle complaints. Or I can
Mm,
by going like really in depth and making sure that person gives us a 5-star review even after seeing the complaint. So we need to make sure also that these are not activity based or just type of like they've only crossed. Yes, they do the work, but we also need to ask how well do they do the work, and are they doing the work correctly? So some of it is participation, sure, like that's LI, right? The participation in championing the core values, being involved in other people's project. That's essentially just yes or no, right? But if we're going to let's say promote people or pass and pass probation, then they need to be able to handle the accounts as good, not better, than previous person, and as good or not better than every other person who has a profile. Cool.
okay, sir.
Right. Discussion for our OKR. Okay. Moving on to the second OKR, Rara.
Okay, so the second OKR, I'm still going to be focused based on the squad 2 needs, which is online guest support and host. So the activity is pretty much the same. So finding out in the first week, finding out candidates, and second week moving them to the second interview. So far at the current status, where I'm actually have one candidate for finance that is going to have trials on mid and end of March, and then online guest support also at the same time with the finance, and then host. We currently have Ahmad Fadli on on-site trials and Altman. So I heard that Vita already talked to Altman to actually being dismissed, but then he actually asking for a second chance. So in that sense, yeah, he said that Vita told me that maybe Vita, you can tell more details about your discussion with Altman.
Yeah, basically I was just telling him because I told him that I didn't have visibility on his work, right? Like work related performance. So I told him like as on HR feedbacks, it's more into like how you bring yourself to the team, you know, like opening up, like approaching one another. Then afterwards, he told me like, can I have another week? And because he did also mention about like Tandy that is not being around for Galungan at that time, and then also D1 things like that. So it was kind of like feeling like being ping pong, things like that. So Yeah, but yesterday I also had a discussion with Ding as well. Like, if hosts needed to be told to be open up to others, then it's maybe not a good sign as well. So.
Okay. Okay, sir. Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, like think of Andre, right? I think that could be actually a pretty good reference point. Andre is just, how would I say? Yeah, he's proactive, right? As soon as I walked in, he was like, "Yo, you're Jing, right? Hey, how's it going, CEO boss?" It's playful, out there, and instantly makes you feel at home. And of course, that's what most should feel. Elvin, most of the time, he was dodging away, like, "Hey, bye, hey, bye." And I was thinking, if that was a guest, not sure how a guest should feel about that. Like your host is sort of touch and run away. Ideally, can plant yourself and liven up the room. So I didn't actually know that he was a host. Oh, okay. Right. Maybe he was finance or something else, but I think for hospitality that has to we have to add more proactive DNA to that. It's super important. Um, you do bring up a good point though about the ping ponging around, and I need to ask Vita about this. How diligent are our team about, let's say, how much is it their focus to onboarding candidates actually?
Also, actually, how diligent? They're diligent, but somehow still finding a hard time to actually fulfill like the morning time. Like at nine, sometimes like still waiting, right? Like me myself as well.
Right.
Okay. Um, um, However, the situation is also because the candidate is scheduling their own time.
Right.
So sometimes our team is also feeling like not feeling, but also like measuring or judging based on how they approach the people.
Right.
Remember Pandu on
Yeah.
our second
Yeah.
the business on the second day was because he actually didn't approach on the first day to book the schedule,
Right.
and then on the D day he just approached Chandra like, "Hey, I have a schedule with you," and Chandra was like, "What? You didn't like book my time? Like I don't have time for you now." Meanwhile, actually, Chandra has time, but it's just because like, man, this is not a clear.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
I've noticed this a few times, and let's say Chandra's case is just another one where um, uh, Farhan, yeah? Uh, Punjab. Punjab? Okay, there was Aldo.
Finally.
Finally showed up at the door on Sunday
Who,
afternoon.
sir?
Finally,
Okay.
yeah, he showed up at
Yeah.
the door on Sunday afternoon, and
Yeah.
he in the base, and I just came by to pick up my computer, and he was like, "Yo, what do I do?" I was like, "What are you talking about? What are you doing here?" He was like, "Yeah, I'm here for on-site trials." I said, "Oh, really? Okay, yeah." So I don't know. I'm just I didn't know what to do. I don't know if I should open the door or not. I was like, "Oh, okay. So weren't you here?" Yeah, like all right. And somebody told me to be here, so I'm here. And I was like, "Wow, that's not necessarily the best welcome, right?" For somebody who just arrived for on-site
Yeah.
trials. They couldn't reach. It was Sunday, of course, so I probably couldn't reach anybody else. And then I was sort of confused. I was like, "Oh, well, why don't you come on inside and get your water?" And gave him a Red Bull. And then Rizal showed up. I went over to the frat house because he was supposed to, I think, go to the frat house, but he came to the base instead. Anyway, long story short, it looked a little bit clumsy, right, in terms of how he arrived. And it wasn't just that; it was yesterday too. I remember one of the guys, I forgot it was. I think it was same guy. Right? He was looking for Tendi, and Tendi was around. Then he was looking for D1. D1 was around. So eventually he was looking for Riyadh, and I found that out while I was hanging out with him for lunch. So there's a little bit of this type of coordination thing. Now we can work two ways with that. we can say that, okay, that's deliberate, and we want the candidate to be proactive, and that's part of the test, right? To see if they actually go and try to figure out where to go. That would indicate that they're serious, right? That they feel like they're driven by their own. Or if we don't need to do that, then I don't think that's very good. Okay, so anyways, I just want to raise that because I saw it.
So in that case, is it like so far a good sign or for you or?
Well, I would just imagine, let's say, maybe we can act a little bit more. Let's pretend that this is our guest, right? Let's
Mhm.
let's pretend. Actually, let's not pretend. Let's treat new employees as guests, right? Like
Mhm.
tell guests work out, whatever. But let's approach with an air of hospitality. So when they arrive, maybe give them like a video or whatever of what they should expect. And if it's a self check-in, then let's make sure that they can self check in and not have any complications of which door do I go through and whatnot. Can you imagine you being sent like to Sumatra, right, to work at like some new oil company, and you just show up at the front gate? It's just like okay, there's no security, there's no thing, and there's just like a key somewhere, and you're like, okay, what am I supposed to do? You're supposed to figure out that you need to take a bus to the company dormitory, and then you're supposed to find an empty room. I mean, it's a little bit, sometimes a little bit too much to ask, but I think as a hospitality company, let's just think about how people arrive, and if we do have things planned for them, then we should think about how they will connect to the next stage. If it's an open type evaluation where we say, all right, this is an open type evaluation, this person does this person does this, you go and you figure it out, right? Who you need to talk to, what needs to be what, then let's just state that at least so that they know what the game is. Otherwise, they just come in and be like, oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, all right, anyways, back to the chair.
Yeah, Adam.
Actually, I have lately I have a few pain points on onboarding a candidate that Pita also knows that couple of times. I'm not sure if everybody's just too busy in squad two or what, but it's really hardly reliable to everyone like Rafik, Chandra, and everything. Like for example, like Pita knows apa yang pas Chandra nggak ada itu loh, yang kamu nyariin orang siapa?
Elfman.
First element onboarding, I am always like spread out the sheet, preparing for everyone, send it out to everyone, and notify everyone that hey, please check the paper. This is like for this schedule you guys SPIC for this course for the new on-site trials. But people forgetting, people are not coming to the base. People are so in that sense, like me and Pita was pretty overwhelmed in the terms that okay, Chandra is not here yet, and then looking for another person, and everyone is just busy with their own things. And then another thing, for example, like yesterday, last night, because Squad 2 still wants to look up about comparing between Elman and Ahmad Fadli, like which one should actually get offered. Like Elman is asking for a second chance, so they need to actually discuss and see Ahmad Fadli. And then we make appointment like at 7 p.m. at night. Rafik and Chandra will actually call me and give me feedback about that particular candidate. And they didn't get back to me until like 9 p.m. I have to ask them, like remind, like, hey Chandra, how is it exactly going for the candidate? Should I drop Alman or not? And they said that, oh yeah, they're going out for dinner. I haven't really talked to and so see again. And then yesterday, Pita was asking me to help to contact Om Rafik because he got scheduled for the candidates also, but Om Rafik is also forgetting. So in that sense, it's very hard for me to like assigning to people because people are, I mean, like they need help for candidates, and we bring candidates on the trials, but they're not really reliable on the terms of the schedule itself. Like they didn't check, they did not open the paper, they forgetting their own schedule. So yeah, that's the pain points that I'm having right now.
Got it. All right. Thanks for that awareness. That's true.
Yeah.
Thanks for raising awareness on that. I think on a few levels, if things have been proceeding as the way you described, then we have a few problems, right? One, we have a hospitality problem, which is we shouldn't treat new candidates this way, right? especially on a team that is in urgent need of candidates. It seems very counterproductive to do this thing. It's stuck in PCI rather than LC. So we can kind of see that can be friction. The other thing is we don't know how they actually perceive us, right? Maybe they're sort of like, well, the last 5 people that showed up, they're worthless. So I don't want to waste my time anymore on this stuff. So I think what we can do is let's get everyone together. Yeah, is maybe part of our thing. When's the easiest time to sync up in squad two?
During the
Okay. All right. When's the sync up?
Wednesday 1 p.m.
Wednesday 1. Let's do that, Ara. I'd like to delegate this to Ara if possible. Ara, go to their sync up and just raise awareness that we're trying to do our best to fill their team with people that they have needed. And if they're not going to be receptive to that, then don't complain when you're, oh, we don't have enough people, right? It seems a little bit ludicrous that this should happen. It could be related to something else. It could be related to, let's say, past performance of previous candidates. It could be related to some frustration. Oh, I trained this person, and then they didn't pass. But let's kind of figure out where the pain point can be, and work more closely together with the team that wants us. Look, we're like doctors, right? And maybe the patient doesn't like taking the medicine, but they got to take the medicine. They gotta be able to do that. And it's not helpful having candidates who are going to show up for your team, and the first impression they have of your team is that your team is aloof, right? I think that part is pretty key. So, okay, if what you said has been done, all right, can you just go to the Wednesday 1 p.m. sync up and raise awareness? Hey, look, I'm trying to do this for you guys, and I just want to hear some feedback about whether or not my efforts are working, right? Look, everyone should have a direct interest involved in this. Tendi can't get promoted. Rafa can't get promoted if they keep on doing this type of work, right? They can't always just be working on night shift and this. So they probably have a very direct incentive to get new people on their team, train them so that they can, they can be multi-squad lead and I don't know, chief of operations, stuff like that. So we know that they probably want to see it done, but it's just about the finesse.
So I also have a question actually regarding that. Like, since Rafik and Mastandi are like the senior hosts, right? Meaning that they're supposed to be a senior host to the chapter. So but I don't think like actually. I mean, I don't see like they're actually branching out to other chapter as well. Other
okay.
squad as well.
Yeah.
For being a senior host.
Okay, that's a separate discussion right now. We don't seem to have a very solid hospitality chapter. Is there an HAR sync up?
They have a hospitality sync up on Thursday 1 p.m. Bali time. But that's the thing. The one who is leading actually Dom and Alvin. So not the senior host or maybe.
There you have it. Okay, well that's kind of like what it is. Right? Like we've noticed that a lot of times when we want to roll things out through, let's say, a chapter, hospitality has one of the hardest times to innovate because there is actually no leader in leading a hospitality chapter. We have people who they're more like pillars rather than leaders. They hold things up and they stop the thing from collapsing. But I think in terms of leadership, in terms of innovation, in terms of things we develop that amount of talent. Okay, all right, noted.
Okay. So that's all for the first for this one. So let's finish on the OKR discussion first. Ara?
Okay. So the third one is that, so this month is actually pretty exciting for me in the terms that last month I sharpened everybody's saw in recruiting. Now I want to sharpen my own saw by following the courses that is existed. So far that I signed up for 3 classes. It's from Nangli and Jing. Entrepreneurship is actually continuing the last month classes. Also with Nangli's basic decision, and another class is handling difficult people with Jing. So yeah. So that's the third OKR so far. And then the fourth one is that this is gonna be like my first time really involved. I want to try a new method in the terms of administering a promotion review. Like previously, I'm just like studying the paper, like the templatized paper, and then let the candidates actually fill it out by himself. But now I really want to get involved on how they even gather evidences and like consulting with me and talking like so that I want candidates feels like they're not having the promotion review alone. Like I am here to help and like actually here to actually consult with anything else. So in this case I even already discussed with Rizal. So this month is basically Rizal that is going to promote it on senior roles on content. And then yesterday we've already discussed on who the comedy exactly that is going to be on the promotion review. And then by today I think we've already settled this morning that it's going to be based on Jim's advice. It's going to be both in squad 2 and squad 4. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And then the deadline, I think, for starting to gather evidences is by the mid-month. So it's still like empty paper though, still like 75. So maybe is there any feedback?
Wait. Oh, you haven't decided the committees yet, so it's not
Belum
yet.
ditaruh di situ, not yet.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Are you still going to also ask the candidate to the committees or what is expected from the committee?
Yeah, I've already talked to Rizal, give some advice on before you even gather evidences, I want you to actually contact all the companies and asking them like what are needs to be fulfilled to pass through this promotion review. So yeah, he will most likely talk to the company itself, like what are their expectations for him for passing the promotion review itself.
Noted. Is there anything else that we need to discuss on Aras OKR? If not, let's go to Billy's OKR.
Okay.
Okay, this is my first time creating an OKR for myself on my on-site trials. So I've been observing for one day, but I'm actually need more information about how the HR team actually do. So I'm actually just seeing our job vacancy on JobStreet, LinkedIn, and any other job portals, but it's actually pretty good and crystal clear for in my point of view. But I think we need more exposure to share our job vacancy. Like we can gather candidates from top tier universities or with good talent from alternative channels such as some independent job portals such as Disna Kerja or social media influencer related to HR like some account that I have some acquaintances and maybe we can have some coordination with those people to make our job vacancy exposure higher. And also from the action itself, maybe I will analyze the historical data of job vacancy and job street. So I will be focused on the job street, on the online guest support, and the one position is host, yeah. And also utilize social media influencer and independent job portal to promote our vacancy. So we didn't have to spend many costs to some cost to promote our job advertisement and discuss with related existing employee to review current job description and specification is it actually related or not or as we needs. And I also have some website or reference to make it more crystal clear for our job description and specification. It's called on it. Maybe I will discuss with Jing or Vita about it. So maybe in my trial period, I will try to increase the number of online guest support applicants by 50 people before March. But I already calculated on our current job seat vacancy and also the online guest not online guest support host and host applicants by 40 people before March 7. Any other question? This appear.
Yes. Okay, Billy. Thank you. Those are the same thing, right? Increase the number of online guest support applicants by 50, and then
It's actually different.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. This is a little bit tough because you're saying increase, right? So we have to remember that every day there is already people coming in, regardless of your action or not. So the number of applicants coming in will probably be 50 if we keep the job ads running. So what we need to measure in this particular case might be, are you changing the rate of applications? So let's say in a typical week we get 20 applications, right? So if you can change the rate of how people apply, that I think would actually be a more confirmed statistic showing that you have made a change. Now, if you just say, I'm going to increase by 50, well, kind of like just by through time, we're going to get 50 anyways. I'll give you an example. So let's say, for example, we have a concept here called booking pace. The idea is we get like people just do it every day. So if you say that we're going to increase the bookings by 100, yeah, we're going to get 100 bookings in a few days anyway. So moreover, like, okay, what is your impact? Your impact would be we would increase the rate of applications. So within, let's say, 1 week, we typically get 15 to 20 applications, but after you apply your inputs, we get 30 applications. So then I would say, yes, okay, that looks like actually pretty big data. That looks like something that we can work with. You can probably figure that out just looking on the job street and also the other forums when people applied, and then calculate. You did it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you did it. We calculate the rate of applications, how many applications per day, and ultimately, it's just like what we do with revenue management. We can increase the rate, and that would ultimately be a good result. Okay, so be careful on what you choose.
Yeah. I think I have already calculated the number of applicants from what we started at 7 February.
Okay.
Yeah, it's, the average applicants per day is 9 people.
Okay, good.
So it's actually that's a manufacturer that we need to determine.
Okay.
So create the prediction on how much we get some exposure on our job vacancy, but there is manufacturer that like our list on the job set itself or when people search about the position.
Well, that's exactly right? We control the things that we can control, and we can't control the things that we can't control.
Yeah.
So in terms of that, I would say it's sort of like a marketing funnel as we discussed. There's probably a large pool of people who see the ad, and then there's a smaller pool of people who apply to the ad, and then there's a smaller group of people who actually ask. Oh, yes, Elise di Sarah di rumah sebelah. Ya, rumah sebelah. There are factors, yes, that you cannot control, but just control the things that you can. It's like any online marketing. You just make it easier for people to, let's say, apply if they want to apply. You also mentioned something about the cost. I think that can also be something that is a good KPI. So what is the cost per hire? And what is the rate of applications per cost that we're having? So we got 10 applications per week for $10. Can we actually get that better? Can we get 10 applications per week, $5 or for whatever it might be? You mentioned that you're looking to use social media, use other ways to improve that. So measuring that, right? What is the cost that we're paying for, let's say, these applications per unit of time? And how is your work going to reduce that per unit of time? Make sense? Okay. So my suggestion is think about a revision to this that makes it a rate rather than a flat number. Because if it's a flat number, just every day that goes by will bring you closer to your goal without even any effort on your side.
Okay, I can put a percentage of.
Yes, have a rate, like something in terms of something else, right? What's the number of applicants per day? Number of applicants per day per rupiah spent. That would then be
I think I need to analyze the historical data.
Absolutely, yeah. And please look at what we've done in the past, and you can see.
I'm not analyzing.
Thank you.
Okay. I observed that we need to effective recruitment process because maybe in my point of view that there is some uh, changing, or we didn't have some settled recruitment process for certain position. And I've actually seen that in some of historical data that we actually have many various period of time to recruit some candidates, ranging from 12 days to 132 days, 37 days, and it's actually a huge gap. And we actually need to have some certain timeline, if we can, because applicant maybe apply to another company, and maybe they have another business or else. So we need to capture the candidates as soon as possible, and but not within a rush, but within certain timeline and processes. And I'm also need to know the bottleneck and obstacles in our current recruitment system. What makes it took so long, or what makes it took just several days to recruit some candidates. And I also want to benchmark recruitment system to similar company like in startup, from my experience in Lansing and Focus, like how they do the recruitment process itself. And I think we need also adopt behavior in a given interview, like case-based questions, like how they put some action on their past experience, really. And I think the key result maybe back to the number. I already discussed with Peter that the average time from our process time is 39 days, but there is also bias on the amount of number in recruitment. Some because 12 days and 137 days is pretty much gap, and we need to see the pattern. That's all. For the-
Yeah, Ara.
Mm, I think this one, I do understand about the meaning of the OKR, but like I think it's still abstract in the terms that you want to reduce the recruitment process time from that to that. When is the deadline exactly? Like by when you can actually give a system that is can reduce from 39 to 30.
I think it's pretty much like long term. Maybe it would be not enough for me to actually prove it in a trial, but I'm trying to uh, analyze the recruitment process itself. But yeah, maybe there's something I need to revise from the OKR because it is my first time. I need to make it more realistic actually, but maybe I will discuss about with uh, how we can achieve the key result itself.
So it's a long-term project, yeah.
Yeah.
Rita, what did Deepa say about ongoing projects?
And it's a forbidden word.
All
So
right.
what?
Forbidden word about project saying ongoing. Actually, this was like my OKR last month, right? Like,
Yeah.
about like effective recruitment process as well. Um, actually, since we haven't actually hired since then, let's say, actually this batch, if you are actually on board, that will be like the measurement of the success, success, success metrics of my last month OKR, because we haven't hired new people there. But actually, the adding up Lily's and nothing general to the hiring time, it's actually now it becomes 44 days. No, it was on my miscalculation 39 days, because it was still being divided with the highest margin
Yep.
number.
Uh-huh.
So the lowest, the one with the highest number is 44 days, and then I added Lewis and nothing general, it's still 44 days.
Okay, so it doesn't say that. All right, it is what it is. Okay, let's go back to Billy. Sorry, Billy, I'm going to turn into you. This is part of your evaluations.
Okay.
Better you get the advice sooner than later. So, yes, this one has to have essentially a few things. One, we need to specify exactly, is this median hire time or average hire time, right? So ideally, Please compile the data and show us where it is today, right? And then the second part is, as we discussed with project management, anything that's ongoing never gets done because it's never finished. So we need to say at least when will you check again to see if you're on target. So within a month, within whatever. Ideally, if you can break down the hiring pipeline into stages, and then you give a budget of time for each stage, you can then also track how likely you are to hit your overall target. Let's say there's a first stage of online, right? And it's taking you 27 days to complete those. So then you probably know that the trials and everything else added up probably won't hit your target. So if I was thinking about this deeply, I would break this into chunks and then forecast how likely I'm able to hit the last part. Exactly what we do for revenue management. So with revenue management, we see basically what we're starting with and how much daily sales we get, and then that gives us a projection for where we're going to be. It can be the same here. See, how long is it taking you to get from first contact to first interview to second interview to test, whatever it might be. And that way you can track and see if you're likely to actually reach that goal. Break a big goal definitely into smaller chunks, and that way you can say, hey, look, at least I shortened the first stage by 3 days, right? And you can make progressive improvements based on just that part.
I think rather than to use the recruitment process time, we need to find a certain pattern in our recruitment system process. Like maybe we need to reduce the gap within the highest days or the lowest days because we need some standard operation in our recruitment system. I think before we determine to make it more effective, we need to find a pattern itself.
Okay. Anything else from Ara, maybe? Last one.
I just want to
Yes.
say, I think your method is actually pretty good. Your action points are correct. You do not identify the obstacles and bottlenecks, and you should be part of the system. And also, these 3 action points seem pretty solid. Yeah.
So the third one is my objective is our structured job analysis because I just want to sharing and share my knowledge from what I learned before because I think we need to establish a proper management appraisal. Before I'm using KPI, but it's my first time using OKR when I just understand that OKR is pretty much flexible and self-based appraisal. And also, if we can do our structured job analysis, we can function as a benchmark to that OKR too. Because I will show the example to Jim or Vita or maybe Ara later on my ongoing project. So the action will be adopt a certain method of job analysis. Maybe it's maybe too theoretical, but I think if we want to move forward to make our recruitment or HR system more mature, we need to move something more applicable and settled. And I want to introduce Spencer and Spencer competencies as a criterion beside of career stage, so we can determine on core competencies, managerial competencies, functional competencies, or also technical competencies that certain position should be applied to those competencies itself. So it's like determine what is the minimum qualification for certain position to get to apply this position. So it's yeah.
Yes, Ara.
I was wondering, does Billy already read about the paper of planning squad and personal OKR paper?
We did go through yesterday together.
Kan kalau ada like there are characteristic of key result and objective, right? Like key result needs to be quantifiable. Even though it's a long project, like 3 months, 2 months, you have to like be more specific and timely about your key result, both key result to be quantifiable specifically about key result. Nah, di sini aku belum lihat specific number, whether deadline atau apapun related to the result that you're going to give. Terus habis itu about function as a benchmark to create OKR, I think that's an activity. Kalau kamu mau taruh di key result, maybe bunyinya kayak gini, make a benchmark to create OKR, one benchmark kan. Cuman kalau functioning itu masuknya activity deh, bukan key result kalau menurut aku. Gitu. So it needs to be like have deadline and numbers to the key result itself.
Okay.
Yes.
Billy, on this one, I'm also going to say it's very vague to me what this means. What does a well-structured job analysis mean? Does it mean that you'll be writing job? I'm not sure actually. Okay, the easiest question to sort of bring to any objective is it's a little bit cynical, but it's so what, right? So if we have a well-structured job analysis, so what? What can we do with that?
Maybe it's I'm early aware that it's pretty much abstract for you because it's not easiest things to understand. But with job analysis, we can determine job description and job specification, and also we can create some calculation on how our remuneration or compensation system from based on job analysis, and it's like maybe some suggestion for.
Really good. Okay.
It's like a suggestion.
Great. So we have the so what, right? So we have a better idea of what the job and remuneration tied to it should be, right? Perhaps we can also, this goes back into like the LinkedIn part. LinkedIn allows us to see how many people are applying for a job versus how many people complete the application process. So if the job description is better written, we can, if we think about essentially what this can do in terms of our overall mission, becoming, let's say, the most innovative hospitality company, how will this help us innovate? How will this help us grow? How will this help us hire more people? How will this reduce the friction to a performance review? How will this increase employee satisfaction? Think about as an outcome to that, then link this to that. It could be back up to this first result too. It could be how will this get us more applicants at a lower cost? How will this allow us to not lose people due to remuneration issues? So think about like what the end output should be, and that is your key result. That is the key result that we're having. Establishing a proper performance management appraisal. Okay, this is a process. Yeah, sometimes we need to have a process to get something. But what is proper mean? Your proper the same as my proper.
It's abstract.
It's abstract. So it should be more, okay, after we have that proper performance management appraisal, say 80% of probation pass on to full-time or pass on to their first promotion within this number of days. And that could be pretty good, right? Then say that works. So think about something concrete in terms of concrete delivery. That way it'll be easy to really iterate. It's not about whether or not this goal will succeed. It's about whether or not you will have another goal after this goal. And if the next goal doesn't have a number to see, then it becomes harder to iterate. Okay.
Maybe it's still a rough interpretation.
Of course, it's normal. This is your learning period.
It's our
Second day.
Second day.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
did observe.
Okay.
Okay, so would you have another discussion? Maybe YouTube.
Yeah. That would be good. Okay, let's do that.
Right, cool. So that's all for the OKR discussion. Wait, let's get back to the main paper. We're actually running out. I mean, we passed our time already for 5 minutes. I motion to add 10 minutes. Do I have any second? Okay. So going for the next old business for university relations from June. Any updates?
Oh, okay. Here it is. This one, these are actually, maybe I'll delegate these to Bayu. We need a pivot from hot Rifki, so I need some help with that. Rifki is a liaison coordinator at Organic Psychology Department. But looking the way it looks like right now, maybe we don't need any more human resources. We've got 4 people on human resources pretty soon. So this one might be superfluous in a moment. The real one that we need to focus on is Pat Sumiata.
Yeah.
And I would like to have either Bayu or whoever is, let's say, senior in Jogja to approach because, wait, let me ask Bayu if he can go and meet this particular person because this is related to finance and finance is related to figures, so this could be good. And then SAP will okay, all right. So now is when we petition them a little bit harder to get those interns for the summer. It's already beginning. Okay, it's a little bit hard with SAP. They're very
It's all different.
yeah. SAP needs to do it. It's not that easy. I need a new delegate to work on that. Somebody to visit the campuses.
Okay.
You want to do it? Okay. All right. We're going to delegate that to Vita. So Vita, I already have the contact person. Her name is Utari. She handles this, but Utari is notoriously absent on email. It's like every time you email, it's right back. So we just need to know when to socialize. That's the next step. We need to go to SDPA to say that we have a program here. We're looking for interns.
Okay.
And that way we can be in the correct timing for the June batch of interns, which is going to be about 3 months, which we will really need. Or maybe not, I don't know. Like it looks like this year, I think we'll have enough people regardless. But yeah, let's work on it as if we don't, so that we're secure on the summer staffing. Okay.
Ms. Secretary, can you put an update on the UGM that Mas Bayu will, Jim will talk to Mas Bayu regarding this one. And on the STP Nusa Dua, can you tell me that I will have a talk with Tari and pay a visit to the institution. Okay, thank you. Moving on to the next one, the new one for STPBI. The last update was Ara should contact with Krishna. Okay, Ara.
Yeah, so about that, remember that from the last week's up that I was delegated to talk to Ibu Trisna, but no, she didn't get back to me at all. I've tried to call and WhatsApp her.
How about Mbak Noti?
I don't have her number though.
I'll send it over to you.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so please also tag Jing to send the number of Mbak Noti to you. Okay, actually, if I may, I just want to let everyone know about something that I created. Okay, so remember, I talked to you about the appointment letter from Sarah, sir. So basically, I've created like just the draft for the appointment letter. So basically, this is like a statement that this person is being promoted.
Okay.
So this actually also function for us to see like what are our expectations of the responsibilities for the new promoted people,
Okay.
and also it make it clear what is like the new benefit package there. So if there is any confusion in the future within like the pay package and everything, one can always get back to the latest appointment letter. And also this can serve as, let's say in the future the person doesn't work with us and then they need like a certain of proof that what was their last role was, so they can also share this appointment letter. So this is the draft, and I was actually creating one for Trisna. I've been working with Nangli as well for the responsibilities. So for the responsibilities, I'll refer to the chapter leader actually to fit in. They are the one who has the most visibility. So as the it's a lead generator.
Lead generator specialist.
Okay. Okay then. So X of the date of the promotion, and then these are the benefit packages. This is based on the
The new contract.
new contract, but are you going to revise or is
Probably not because what was it? The discussion was complete, and we both agreed that this was the correct way. But now looking at this, I've given Trishna the option of remaining in his old package if he wants. So that's his option if he wants to remain on the old package. The old package had
three days?
Yeah. and it had a higher one-time commission for active use days, and also had a higher commission for bringing this in. But Mainly because they'll be restructuring the routine, and also we need to create a incentive for lead developers to pursue revenue rather than pursue salary. It's just what it is. I'll think about this, but it's one of the things that makes it complicated when there's too many changes to structure and structure. There was a double change in structure.
So,
Pleasure. Pleasure.
Bless
so
you.
thank you. These are the new responsibilities that Nuri pointed out. And these are like the expected career metrics for specialist position. So Nuri have created the responsibilities based on that. And I also put like the reference to the career metrics itself for further explanation for the career metrics. And yeah, so this is the contact and then the results. So that's all actually that I want to show. Is there anything else that anyone wants to discuss from Ara? Really?
Nope. Nope.
Okay. So and then that's all for today's discussion for HR Guild. Thank you everyone for attending. Oh, we need to change the chairperson. Okay. Chairperson will be Ara, and then on Thursday will secretary will be. This is already. Oh, I will be recorded.
Yes.
Okay.